Hi, and welcome to the Planning Tool Overview. This video we will go over the functions of the Planning Tool, functions and the features, and give a brief demonstration on how they work and how they will help you, can help you within your organization. Some tools you will find useful, and some tools you may not actually utilize. We have a lot of organizations that are using the planning tool now, and majority of them have found a way to use every single one of the features that we have on the planning tool available, and there are quite a few. So let's go ahead and get started. To access the planning tools, you go to planningtoolapp.com, www.planningtoolapp.com, and we created a demo account for the purpose of this overview. So we'll go ahead and log into there. And what this does, this will bring you to the coach dashboard. And in the planning tool, we refer to the sponsors or advisors or directors as coaches, as a coach, and the students or mentees as coachees. Since we have so many organizations using the planning tool now, and everyone, mentees are referred to as different things, we have just a generic coach and coachee terminology to distinguish the two. So up top here, let me first go over what's on this main screen. We have 6 icons. This is just a quick way to get to different information that have been submitted to the planning tool from your students, and we'll go through each of these a little later. We have 2 panels. We have a quick list, or quick coachee list of getting to the students. These are all the accounts that have been created that's created for your account, and then we have a notification just letting you know the most recent activity that has been submitted to your system, to your account by your students, and that gives a link to that information. Over here you have your main menu, and we'll go through each of these and what they do, which each of these components do. Let's see. First, we'll go ahead and go through, talk about the overview panel. Well, before you do that, let's talk about why the planning tool was created. I'm the administrator of the planning tool, and I created it based off of a website that I created to run my organization. And over the years, as I showed different people about the website that I built and that the students, my mentees and students logged into, other advisors and directors of different organizations and other programs wanted to have it duplicated to utilize those same tools, but because of the structure of the databases and the way it was put together, it was very, very difficult to do. So what we did was I got with the IT department at our job, and we actually created a system that was able to duplicate all of those tools, and so that's how we developed the planning tool. And now we have hundreds of organizations throughout the country, and some even throughout the world, utilizing the planning tool system, and they just find it very, very convenient to utilize a platform to manage their day-to-day activities and to streamline a lot of the processes. So that's just a quick overview of how this came about. So first you have the overview screen. This is just a quick snapshot of some information within your organization. As you know, that the students are able to submit their community service hours that have been rendered, and that just gives you a total. From a college transition standpoint, some information is important to keep track of. So for all of your high school seniors, in their college transition module, they have an opportunity to input the number of scholarships that they've applied for. And then once they get their award letter, they can go back to that scholarship and change the status of it to award, which calculates these two figures right here. Overall ACT score, which obviously that's not very good for the organization, but if it was more, a real live account, then that would be more accurate. But each student, once they complete or receive their ACT scores back, they can go and update it in their system, and that gives you access to them. This is just an overall summary of the organization. You can keep track of the FAFSAs. If you have 10 seniors, you can look here to see that 3 of them have started this FAFSA, 2 of them have submitted it, it's pending, and 0 have actually completed. So as the year progresses, you can take a look at this and you can see how well that part is progressing. With these types of organizations that we operate, it's important to keep track of who's doing what and who's not, and that's where this activities function come in, and we'll show you that. But basically, from an organizational standpoint, this will give you a total number of activities that have been open and total, which means they haven't been signed off on, haven't been done, and this is a total number that have been done. And we can take a look at activity function here in a little bit. So next on the main menu is the profile screen, and this is where you can upload a picture yourself, or if you choose, and you can enter other information that's specific to your organization. All right, next is the coachees main screen. This is where you can access all the information that has been put into the system by your students. You can edit their profile yourself, or they can do it on their end. You can actually delete their account here, and here's a real big button here, view, and just by clicking on that, you can access all the information that have been put into your system, and we'll come back to this. And you can also export from the screen this data, their contact information, to an Excel spreadsheet. So if you needed a quick listing of all of your students and with their phone numbers, addresses, home addresses, and email addresses, here's a quick way to do that, as long as everything is kept up to date. Alright, so to go ahead and get started with the actual functionality of the planning tool, some of the main key functions are going to be attendance records, keeping track of who attended your events or functions, video library or educational library. That's where you go in and create modules or links, a series of videos that they can go in, they'll be required to go in and view and complete a review online, to where you can go in and actually see the data, what they've learned from watching it. And that's pretty cool, because that's something that they can do on their own time. They just have to do it. We've had a lot of success with that organization. So activities, that's where we go in and create tasks for them to do, and once they're done, they go in and check it off, and when it's done, it will improve their completion percentage here. So when you go in and create it, if everyone's 100% and you go in and create one, obviously this will change. They will no longer be at 100% until they complete that. So if you have a student that's at 0%, then that tells you one or two things: either they're doing it and not signing off on it, or they're not doing it. And so that's 2 accountability factors there. And that's what it's all about, being able to visually see who's doing what they're supposed to do, or who's flying underneath the radar and not doing what they're supposed to do. So this is That's real important there to help keep track of who's doing what. The next is it says add test. This is where online quizzes, online tests can be created, and they can go in and do it on their end, and I'll demonstrate that. And add coaching. Sometimes there may be a student that does something that's not becoming of the organization, or gives some behavior that needs to be documented for whatever reason, and that's a tool that will give you that functionality and capability to do that. So I'll demonstrate that as well. You have some tools here. You have a message board. Here's where you can go in and send emails to everybody, to one person, or when I say everybody, you can have the option to send it just to your students, or a message to your students and their parents. Same thing with the text messaging, and also you can send documents. You can send documents to one particular student, or all your students, or all your student parents. So that will come in real useful if you need to send out permission slips or other documentation, scholarship applications, or whatever documents that you need to send out to your organization. And they can upload documents back to you, and you can retrieve those documents through this download function here. The schedule is just your that is your Google Calendar that you have embedded, and that's what your students will see on their end, and you can see it here, and I'll demonstrate that. And then your settings, that's where you can go in and set your Google Calendar or your PayPal account. As you know, the planning tool will allow your students to make payments to your PayPal account that's set up, and by logging into their PayPal account, put in a dollar amount, and it'll take them automatically to that PayPal checkout screen. Here you can run reports. We talked about attendance. You can run your attendance reports, your activity reports, community service report. That's how many hours have been submitted. Coaching report, college transition report, and in that you have some other reports with that, or referred to as college transition, is the transition from high school to college. So you have your FAFSA report, your ACT report, and your scholarship report. All right, next we're going to talk about the very first one under the task option, and that's going to be attendance records. So the planning tool will allow you to maintain and keep up with your attendance for your functions, your mandatory events, or just whatever events that you want to keep track of who went, who didn't. So you do that by click add, and we'll just refer to this one as July general member membership meeting. So we'll just pick a date. Local school class. Just wherever you hold your meetings or whatever. You can send it to one particular one particular student, or you can send it to all the students. And you put a description of the function monthly. And you can send that email to, you can send an email notification to just the students or to the parents. So whenever you create an event like this, it's going to send a notification. And again, you can send it to just the students by clicking no here, or you can send it to everybody. So we'll click add event. And you see now it has July general membership meeting has been added. If you need to edit something on this particular record, you can do that here. If you need to delete it, now to click view, you click view, and once it's been created, the students will be prompted. An open attendance record has been created on their side, so which means they'll need to go in and indicate whether they completed it, or they attended it, or whether they didn't. Or you can do it from your end by clicking on edit and changing their status for that student. This is Jeremiah Jr. He attended, yes. A lot of organizations, I found out, utilize this as a way of taking roll, and somewhere during the meeting or at the function, they'll use their smartphone and then they'll just call a name and do it right then. So here you see those are the ones that attended it and those that didn't. You need to print this record. You can do that by just clicking on print, and it will give you the option to you can click print, and you've got your attendance record for that event. You can go back to the list. You can always go back and edit who attended and who didn't at any time by going there. So that's how the attendance records are maintained. The next thing we'll talk about is the video library, and what this does is it will give you the opportunity to find videos on the internet, educational videos on the internet for your students to review, and then come back to the system and do a module review or a video review, whatever you want to refer to that. So this is one that's been put in the system. It consists of 4 videos from study.com, and it's dealing with job interviewing skills. And so to edit this video, it brings you here, and those are the links. You can remove them or add them or whatever you need to do there. To review, if you click review here, it'll bring you to a list of the students. If everybody's done it, then all this will be filled in, but this particular student has completed it. Actually, I did it just for the purpose of this demo. And here is what this person learned from that video. And you can print it, have the option to print. Now obviously they put more content here. It's always good to set a requirement of X number of words per answer, and that gives them 3 questions. Discuss the content of the video, how we use this video in your future use, and list 5 takeaways. But that's the way it looks there. And this is a pretty cool way of providing an additional educational component to your organization. So to create a module or a series for them to look at, I like to utilize study.com, because they have a lot of really cool videos here, a lot of cool titles. I will just see if I can create one. And this one is the series of job interviewing. And here are a lot of different videos that you can put together. So you would select your different videos, or wherever, YouTube or whatever. You come in, put the title here, add the links here of the videos, and it will send a video notification, an email notification that a new video series have been added and they need to go and complete it. And you can send that to the parents as well, letting them know, keeping them informed on what you're requiring them to do. And they can do that by selecting yes, send to all, or if you just got one person that you want to send it to, you can select their name and hit save video link, and then the email notifications will go out, and they will have to click on the links and watch the videos. And at the end of the video, we'll log into one of the student accounts and we'll show you what that looks like on their end and how it works. But that's pretty cool. The next thing is the activity. The way this works is basically these are tasks that you have created for them to do. They have to do it and then sign off on it on their end. And we'll show you how to do that, how that works. And it gives you a percentage showing who's done what and who haven't, so that you can hold your different students accountable for completing these tasks and completing them on time. So to do that, you will click on activity over here, and then click on create new activity. And so activity or task name. So we will call this one we will say that they need to submit your permission slip. And this can be something as simple as text me your t-shirt size, or submit your grades, or whatever it is that they're supposed to do as an organization. If you want everyone to do one task, and to let them know that, and then to be able to hold them accountable for doing it or not doing it. All right. And this objectives, that's organization specific. That's just a field there. You can use it however you like. I don't think it's a required field. So the start date and the deadline date to have this done by. Punctuation, that's another field that you can use it however you like. We'll just put mandatory. Difficult grade, that's something else that you can use that however you like. We're going to send it to everybody. We're going to notify their parents, and we're going to tell them a little bit more information on what it is we want them to do. All right, download the permission slip from your email or your Planning Tool account. Sign it. Sign in. Sign it. Sign it. And upload it. Upload the signed copy back to your Planning Tool. All right, so we will. Oh, it is a mandatory. It is okay. So, objective. However you want to use that field, but that was required there. Create new activity. Alright, so all of the students have been notified, and their parents, that this is something that they need to complete. And they will see that by email, and they will see that by email, and they will see it when they log into their account. And this is what the email looks like that the parents and all of the students just received. Sent by John Doe. Submit your permission slip. Objective required. Start date, deadline date. It's mandatory. Difficult grade, low difficulty. I guess nothing difficult about it. And here's the description. download your permission slip from your email Planning Tool account, sign it, and upload it. Upload the signed copy back to the Planning Tool. Log into your Planning Tool account at www.planningtool app with your user ID and information there. And we found that these email notifications are really important as far as keeping that communication flow going throughout the organization. And again, once they complete the activity on their end, let's see where his coaches. As if you remember, J. Mariah Mormon's completion percentage was at 50%. Now that we created this new activity, it has gone back down to 33%. So ideally, in a perfect world, if all of your students were at 100%, one of two things is happening. Either your guys and girls are really on it, really getting a lot out of it, and they're doing everything that you want them to do, or they're all a pencil whipping it, and that's something else you have to address. They're just signing off on tasks. And again, later it will sign into one of their accounts and go through these different things to demonstrate that as well. But going back to the tasks, tests. A lot of organizations find this really helpful because it's a way that they can document what their students are actually learning. So we'll create a test to kind of demonstrate that functionality of it. So to create a test or a quiz, we'll do a test. We'll give this one a name. Let's just say, for instance, we just took our students to a college tour, or better yet, we just had a speaker to come in and give a seminar on, I don't know, financial literacy. Okay. So we'll just come up with a name. We'll just put, I don't know. All right. So, I mean, let's just say we took our students to a college tour, and we want to something basic there. On June 3rd, we visited USM, and this quiz will test the knowledge learned. Objective, again, that's just another field that you can utilize however you like. You can just put just to make the field happy. All right, so first question is, when was the UNA (1901, 1903, just 1911, 1899. All right, and the correct option is going to be 2. Let's just say it's worth 10 points. 1 point. All right, and next question will be, where is the school located? Moon, Sun, Earth, Kansas. Let's just say the correct answer is there. That 2 is worth 1 point. And you can keep on, you can do this as many, you can ask as many questions as you want. We'll just add one more. What is the school colors? And let's put the punctuation there. Red, blue, white, black. Correct answer is going to be 2. That's worth 1 point. All right. So we want to add 3. Ideally you probably want to add more than that, but we'll hit submit, and all of your students have just been notified that they have to take this test. They just received an email that they have to take this test. All right. So the next component we'll talk about is the coaching, and this is where we will go in and document any actions or any behavior that been observed that should be maybe some reprimand, or you can just document it. So here we'll click add coaching. It's also referred to, a lot of organizations refer to it as we do in our real world, in our job, as a write-up. Okay. So we will click on add coaching. We'll select the student. Click on J. Mariah. So she's a general member, or she holds a position. You can say that she is the just a general member. Level of warning. This is her first one. Her second one, recommendation for suspension, recommendation for termination, or however you want to utilize that. But those are the 4 options that are there. So level 1, warning, and this right here, deadline date for improvement. This is basically how long is it going to stay active on her record. So we'll just say that this will become inactive on June 28th, or fall off her record, however long you put that date there. Job performance deficiency. This is basically what this person did. And we can just, we'll make up something on June 1st. Jay did not wear the specific results required for self-improvement. 1, basically what should this person do. Jay is expected to dress. Okay, fine, we'll just put that there. And that's all she did. She didn't do anything else. And you can be as detailed, or you can add as much flow as you want, but it's just for the purpose of this demo. Click on create coaching, and I see a note says it was inserted successfully. Now what just happened there was Jay should have received an email, and what they've got to do, we'll actually go and log into the student account to finish demoing this process. So let's do that now. Alright, so actually we are now in a coachee account. I've done this just to show you what the coaching look like on their side. So the student will log in, see that we're logged in under her account, and this is what the student look like, and we'll actually go through this toward the end of the video. But we'll go to my coaching, and we'll see here that these are some old ones that are already expired, and this is the one that we just put in. So they will have to, you see it has open and closed. In order for it to fall down here, it has to be addressed. So that student will require to come here, just so that everybody's aware of this conversation. The coachee will have to acknowledge it, or whatever you require them to do. And so she will come in and say, I will pay close, better attention to the dress. It's always good to make the parent aware of what's going on, so the parent will be required to come in and also participate in the conversation. They will be more possible and her. We will ensure she is high school is as proper. All right, and hit update, and now you see that it went from open to closed. It's completely done. It's over. And this is the one that was put in from another demo. But and here it is. If you ever need to print it for whatever reason, you can click print, and it'll bring you to this screen, and everything in here. Like anything else. All right. So that's how the coaching works. So we'll log out of here and log back into the coach's account. All right, so we're now back into the coach's account, and we've gone over all of the items under the create task menu. So we've got some tools that we'll take a look at. First, we'll take a look at the message board. All right. So here is all of the messages, and these are just test messages we put in for just doing demos. But I'll show you how to create one here. So we'll click on Add Message, and this is the email. And so this one will be subject will be meeting location, and you can send it to one particular person, or you send it to all. You want to send the email to the parents as well? Yes. All right. And so in this message, we will send. We'll just tell them that, well, the meeting has changed to 111 Elm Street. Please use your GPS to find this building. Please come dress properly. Call me if you have any questions. All right. And then we'll add message, which is the same as send message. All right, just go down to the bottom, and there that message is. So that message was just emailed to all of the parents and all of your students. Just that simple. And from the email, and this is what the email will look like. This is the email that all of the students and their parents just received, sent from the Planning Tool system. When they are logged into their account, they have the option to reply from the Planning Tool system. Right now, we can't reply from the email directly back, but we're actually working on that. But right now, they can't reply back, so they should not reply back to the email, but it's just a notification. But they can reply back from the Planning Tool system. And as you see, this is kind of what it looks like. And if you wanted to, that's them replying back. And if you want to reply back to them, you can reply back to that message as well. So you can kind of go back and forth from within the Planning Tool system. Send an SMS, send a text message. It's the same concept. Just create new SMS, text message title, message, send it to all. You want to send it to parents, you want to send it to one individual student. So you can send group text messages from the planning tool utilizing this message board tool. So you can send emails and text messages. Documents. So if you wanted to upload a document or send a document, it's done pretty much the same way. Just click upload document, file name, we'll put permission slip, college tour. Alright, you can select the document that you want to choose. Alright, so you go there and you can click on a document there, open, and you see it's now attached. You want to send it to all? We want to send this to the parents. Yes, we do. We'll send it to their parents. Click add new, which will actually send it. And what just happened is all of your students and their parents just received that email with that document attached to it. And this is what the email looks like that the system just sent to all of your parents and all of your students. Attaches a permission slip for the college tour. This must be completed and returned, and they can download that as they will any other PDF attachment. And again, they can also send documents to you via their planning tool account. And so this is a document that was uploaded from the coachee back to the coach, and they can do that by just clicking download, and the option to download will pop up, and they can open a permission slip or whatever it is, the document from there. Alright, so the schedule will allow you to access the Google Calendar. The settings will allow you to, is where you go and you paste your Google Calendar code to share that. PayPal is where you will input your PayPal account that you want your students to make payments to the organization. Here you have your reports. I'll show you each of these reports. Your attendance report. You can click that and then just give you the opportunity to pull that report, and you can print it or export it. You can print here or export it to Excel. Activity report. It just gives you a percentage for each student. Just a quick way to see who's done what, and you can print that as well. Community service report is your hours. Will tell you how many number of projects that have been performed and how many hours, total hours for each person. You can print that as well. Coaching report, number of active coaching, number of inactive coachings. And next is your college transition reports, COSLS. You can export to Excel or print this, and just show you who have started, or who's pending, or so on and so forth there. There's a real big one here, ACT. If they're keying their grades in, their scores in, and keeping them updated, you can export this to Excel. You can print this report, but you have their math, science, language, reading, their overall, the last date it was taken, and then the next date that they're scheduled to take it. And it just gives you all of your ACT information in one snapshot summary there. I think a lot of the advisors who have who are numbers people who like to see numbers from their students, they'll find this one helpful as well. This is the number of scholarships that they've applied for and the number that they've been awarded, and then here's the percent. So for instance, this student here has applied for $21,500. He's been awarded $10,000. He's been awarded 46% of what he's applied for, and that just gives you some more data to help you know another data point so that you can be effective, show how effective the program is and how effective you're being with your program. All right, and so one of the last things that we're going to take a look at is how to retrieve the information submitted. So you go to Coachees, and we're going to take a look at this J. Mariah Moorman's profile. That's just a picture that they submitted there. If all of that was filled in, there you have the gender, school, just all the basic information, parent, email address, so on and so forth. Attendance records, total events attended, not attended. We've had a total of 6. She's attended 3. Whatever. Activities. These are the ones that this person has not completed yet, and these are the ones that they have completed. And you can click on it to view it, to look more into it. This is another pretty cool thing that we have is if there was a task that person needed to do, and they had a question about it, or you have a question for them. So it says this person sent a message, said please assist with this task, please assist for the information, and then you can reply back. We will hold a training session next Tuesday. Please be sure to be in attendance. You can send a message to follow up. Hello, just want to follow up. Just want to make sure you get this completed. Reply, and there it is there. And you can kind of go back and forth on a particular task. Coachings, they're all expired, but you can view or edit that coaching. You can access that here. Go in and make your, you can update any information from that. Obviously, the ones that have been closed, the only thing you can do is print from those coachings. You can view the test that this student have attempted or have not attempted. They'll all be there, but you can pull their results here. You can view that student's grades here as well. Community service hours. You see here it has a little button that says print certificate. As we know, a lot of times the students will require a certificate for their scholarships or for someone to just validate their community service hours. For as long as it's put into this system, they can do this on their end, or you can do it for them. You can click print certificate, and it will create a PDF document. Here it says, "Dear Sir, Dear Madam, this letter confirms that J. Mariah Mormon completed the following volunteer service with the organization." There it is. Total hours. If you need further information, please email me at, and whatever your login email will be there. Sincerely, John Doe Youth, Demo Youth, just whatever you have your profile is set up. And to print this, it'll print in a much different format, by the way. And this is what the letter will actually look like. It has a date that it's printed, and this is the certification, and all that's done automatically. Here is absent notifications. Whenever a student cannot attend a function, they can submit what's called an absence notification, which will be emailed to you, as well as text to you, to the advisor, and it's documented in here. That's just so that you can plan accordingly. You know, you can go in and see who's indicated they're not coming or a candidate to come, and it'll give you a reason as to why. And you can see their college transition information there, which we'll look into that when we flip over to the coachee side of things. And education portal review, that's just reviewing all of any of the module reviews that have been submitted. All right. Going back to these 6 icons up here. So these icons are just quick ways to access all the information that have been submitted into the system. So here you can retrieve grades, attendance records, education portal reviews, that's the online video reviews, the community service hours, and to retrieve any absent notifications easily. So those are just quick links. So as you see, the planning tool has a lot of functionality to it. The system's really gaining a lot of traction with organizations throughout the country. Something we're really excited about, and so we're excited to show it to you. Let's take a minute now that we understand what the system does, let's take a minute to flip over to a coachee account. Well, let's make a note that the email is case sensitive, so everything has to be capitalization has to be correct. So as you see now, the screens look similar, but we only have 4 tabs across the top here. They have what's called, over here on the main menu, they have an overview screen, which gives them their overall information, and they can edit their profile. They have their e-task, where they can edit their attendance records. And to do that, to edit, they would just click View, and just like we did on the other screen, they will click that they attended, and all of their information will change from there. It will go from up top to down here, open and closed. These, ideally, there should be anything ever open, because once it's created, it will open and they will indicate whether they attended or they didn't, or you can do it for them, and then it will go to the closed section. They can take their test here that you created. This look familiar? This is a test we created on the other end, so they will go there and take their quiz, submit, and test attempt correctly. Alright, and click View. They can always go back and view it, but they can't submit it again. It's already been sent into the system, but you know, there's the information, just like we put in there. Alright, under eTask, they can manage their grades. This is where they can go and submit their grades to you. So we'll just go in and put math, Smith, numeric grade 100, letter grade A. Current year, this is going to be our second term progress report. Just comment, grade class. Alright, next class, we'll put reading. Miss Jones, B8, B, fun. Class, we'll do another one. Let's just say PE. Coach Taylor. I don't have a problem in PE. Got an F in there. Don't like PE, obviously. Alright, you can just continue on 8, 9, 10, however many, and then you hit submit grades. And as the advisor, that email was just emailed to you. You also received a text message from that particular student, so that you can take a look at those grades. And as you see, those classes are just 3 classes have just been added to those grades. And again, you can see it on your end. Community service hours. So say this student wants to submit the community service hours, just say thanks. Service project. Number of community service hours. I'll say this is going to be 10. This is the date and description of work. We cook food to feed the right. And then you can add community service, and you see it's added there. Absence notification, if that student wants to tell you that they're not going to attend the Thanksgiving community service, nothing happened. Alright, this is the date. And why won't you attend? I will be out of So you can require, this is one function that a advisors throughout the country utilize, because they don't like to get text messages or emails or phone calls throughout the day. They can simply go there, submit this. It'll send them a text message automatically and an email, and it's also inserted on their record, and you can pull it on the other end. So whenever you get around to wanting to see who's attending or who's not attending, you can just simply pull your absence notification records report, and you can see who all is not attending, and you can plan accordingly from there. So here, remember, we created these videos, this job interviewing skill. Well, the way they would take this is they would log in after receiving a notification that they've got one that's due. They will click on this link, so there's 4 links. So they will watch all 4 of these. So click on one, and it'll take them to the video. And I'll utilize these a lot with our organization, and we've got some great results. But just a little quick how it works.
Let's talk about what you do actually at an interview, because first impressions count a lot. People often make up their mind by the way they see you in the first few seconds. You want to make eye contact, you want to give a firm handshake.
And there she just talks about the job interview, and it's
that
also got written
language is
information
relaxed and open.
there
Not
that
fluffy,
they can
but, relaxed.
read
And
through,
here's
which
a
is pretty much what she's
relaxation
talking
tip,
about.
that you can do at the beginning and periodically during the interview. Just take a deep breath and move.
So I'm there, then they can go to the next one. And it's how to prepare answers for job interviews. And now she'll talk
Now
about
we're going to talk
3 or 4
about
minutes about
preparing
that.
answers for the interview questions being predicted.
Alright, so they can review all that information, and then they will click here, and then discuss the content of the video. They will complete their module review, and they will click add review, and then you'll be notified. And then it's always good to create an activity so that they can check it off as well, and we can see that under my activities. To go along with that, it doesn't automatically create an activity in the system, but it's good to maybe create an activity so that each time you create one, so that there's an accountability factor there, and it make it easier to see who's done it and who hasn't. Alright, this is the activities that we just talked about. Complete here. So here's, if it's up top here, if it's open, then it hasn't been completed. Down here, meaning it has been completed. So here's submit your permission slip. Download your permission slip from the email planning tool account, sign in, and upload. Send a signed copy back to the planning tool. So this is just what we just did. Actually, this is the one that we put in. Date started 6/18 of 2019. All right. If they want to see more about it, they can click view. And remember that if they had a question about it, they can go here and type hello, Mr. Smith, or whatever the advisor is, Mr. Advisor. He's asking a question. Does this need to be scanned as a PDF, or can we send it as so they can go back and forth. You'll, as advisor, get a notification there's been a question asked about this, and then you can sign in and reply back, or you can just call that student or text them and say, hey, look, just send it as a PDF, send it as a JPEG, or whatever type of thing. So here's all the information about the task that needs to be done. Download your permission slip from the email or Planning Tool account, sign it, upload it, send it back. All right, so here's how you complete it. The date that it's done today. Just select that date, and it's done. And their overall completion percentage has just been updated as well. As you see that it's now down here, and you can view it if you need to, and that way you can still have access to the chat function if you need, for whatever the case is. But as long as that date is there, then it has been marked as completed, done. So, again, activities is all about accountability. And we've already demonstrated this earlier. You know, if they have a coaching or something of that sort that's open, then they will click on view and then take care of it and do what they do. It's done. These were actually, the expiration date expired a while before they were closed out. That's why they're still here. So we talked about e-tasks. Let's go to kind of jump down and did activity and coaching. Let's go back up to tools, documents, upload documents. So whenever one of your students needs to send you a document, they click upload and put the file name, the file description, choose the file, click add new, and that file will be, they can put file description or whatever message they want to, and then that file will be automatically emailed to you. To download documents, when you upload a document, two things happen. Well, three things. It's emailed to the student and to the parent, and it's also added to this screen here. So they will always. So this is the one that we uploaded earlier. So they will always have access to it. They can get to it here from their account, or they can pull it off of their emails. Messages, same as the emails. Scroll down to the bottom. Hello, the meeting location was changed 111 Elm Street. This is the message that we sent earlier, and this is what it looks like on their end. They can view it, and they can even reply to it. To send a message back to you, and that'll be sent to you, emailed to you, as well as posted to your Planning Tool account, so you can see that. All right. So the certificate button that we've seen earlier, this is just a quick way to print the students can print their community service certification from their end. As you see, they've got a print option here, and earlier it was 108 hours, but remember we went and we added this community service project, so it's added there, and they can click print, and it will look like this. And then the automatic print option will pop up, and they can print it, and this is what it will look like to print it. And they can submit that to whomever that's in need of. So remember we talked about making a payment, so it'll go directly to that account. So if we have to pay, you know, if they have to pay for a field trip, t-shirts, or whatever it is you're collecting funds for, and they want to do it via PayPal, you can they can come here, type in $25, pay with PayPal, and you see where it's going to redirect you to PayPal. You can log in, or you can pay for it directly with a debit or credit card. And this is to just streamline the payment process for your students. All right, the schedule. Remember that Google Calendar that we talked about? So if you utilize Google Calendar, you put your calendar, the events together. It's just a way that everybody can access that calendar very quickly. so you can load all of your events onto your calendar, and all of your students will have access to it. All right, so this is a really big, the next one is college transition. This is really big for upcoming juniors and seniors. It's going to require them to put some information in and allow you to keep track of it quite easily. And we'll flip back to the coach account to take a look at this. So the college tour, first is the college choices. So they can put and then the next one is University of New Orleans. And then select their status. Select the status, whether they've applied, they've sent the application, it's pending, and accepted. So you can just kind of, alright, so those are the statuses. So this person has applied to University of Kansas, been accepted, they've got their letter for University of Mobile, and New Orleans is still pending. FAFSA is something that needs to be completed. We need to make sure we stay on top of those. So to do that, once they start it, once they send it in, and once it's finalized, they can indicate that, and that will also populate on your dashboard, your overview on the coach screen. Here are all the scholarships applied, awarded, and applied. So to do that, they would simply put in the scholarship title. We'll just put City Fund. Scholarship amount is going to be $100,000, and we've only applied for it. Hit update, and then you're going to see it. So tell you it's been added. Scroll down, there it is. Right. Whenever they get their award letter, they'll come back to it and click edit, and come back and change it to awarded, and then they will that money has been updated to the awarded amount. Okay. ACT information. This is the last date taken, and we're going to take it again then. We got a 20 on the math on the last one. Current science, or you can put you may require to just put the highest of all of them, however. But anyways, our highest science is going to be a 20, 22 on that, and we did really good on reading. And overall score, let's say it's going to be a 23. Alright, update. Alright, and just let you know that it's been posted, and that information is available to you to view as well on your end for this particular student. You want to get a major and a minor for each one of them. So this is going to major in math, and this one is going to have a minor in business. And add or update, and just letting you know it's been updated. Okay. So that information is really, really important just to keep up with your college transition information. One thing I didn't do here. See what it kind of disappeared on me. So probably a good idea when you start training, your students, and we'll have videos for them as well. But they've got to hit add update, or they'll lose it like I just did there. So that's why I lost it. All right. So as you see now, our dollar amounts have changed to the awarded amount has changed. And this is all the information for your student. Looks like I didn't hit update for FAFSA. I just put pending, start, add. All right, and then go back to overview, and it should say pending there. We got a FAFSA. All right. So we've pretty much gone over everything here. These are just some quick links for them to get to their activities, to get to documents, to get to messages, and to get to any open attendance records. Right. So let's jump back to our coach account. You see where we've been having some activity for Jay Mariah on these. That's what it'll look like. Go back to our overview and see how it's changed. You see now our scholarship amount has changed. Now we've added that huge deal in there. But more importantly, let's go look at the account we just did. We completed an activity, so we see how that's been changed, increased back up to 67%. But let's go to view, and let's see, we've added. Here's where you see we've added that we cook, feed the needy. Those grades are now there. 2019. Here. Let's see, I think this is going to be the one that we added. Second one. These are the grades that we remember, that F that I don't like B, just to show you this is how it looks on this end. Now, if you want to talk to this one, what is the issue with PE? Yes, you just want to give them some feedback, you can do that. This is apply, just to give them some feedback or however you want to do it, and then they can do the same thing on their end. Just a quick way to go through if you're, one evening you want to go through and take a look at all the grades and give them all some feedback, and then require them to comment back. And that way also what you're doing is documented as well. Alright, they can print a certificate on their end, or you can print it for them. Absence notifications, this is all the ones that they have submitted. Remember, that's the one that we just sent in from the Coach E account. Alright, the college transition, you want to look at all that information that we just submitted. Their college transition profile, that's what this is. There are our 3 universities, University of New Orleans, University of Mississippi. You see which one has been accepted, applied, pending. FAFSA is pending for this student. Here are these are her ACT scores, the overall that we put in. There's our scholarship that's been awarded that we added, and there's our major and minor. So you have all this information for all of your upcoming seniors, and it's probably good to start the college transition profile on the students that join the program, because they can start monitoring the ACTs, and they can even start applying for some scholarships and things of that sort quite early. But this tool just helps you keep track of all of that information. So just kind of wrap things up here. As you see that the planning tool provides a lot of tools that you have at your disposal. A lot of things we normally keep on spreadsheets. A lot of things you normally communicate by continually to have to update emails. If a parent email changed, then you have to go through and upload it or change your distribution list, things of that sort. As long as they keep it updated on their profile, then they will always get the communication sent out. So the planning tool is designed it's named just as what it is. It's a planning tool to help you plan and prepare and run your organization and streamline a lot of the processes. Keeping track of the grades, the attendance records, the online video training, keeping up with the community service hours. It's really important to know who's gonna be at functions and who's not. The text messaging, the emails, the sending the documents back and forth, the documenting, the discipline issues, the generating of the reports. This is a really, really powerful platform, and there are some things out there, but they're not tailored to specifically for organizations such as yours. And this system is designed specifically for organizations like yours. So feel free to reach out to us to give us any feedback. Hopefully you will find some use for this system, and we look forward to continuing to develop it. We've got some new features that are going to be coming out pretty soon, and so we're looking forward to that. Thanks for your time, and hopefully we'll be working with you soon and providing you use for these useful tools.